Sable and his accountant had just come from a small, expensive and particularly exclusive restaurant in Greenwich Village, where the cuisine was entirely nouvelle. A string bean, a pea and a sliver of chicken breast aesthetically arranged on a square china plate. Sable had invented it the last time he'd been in Paris. His accountant had polished her meat and 2 veg off in under 50 seconds and had spent the rest of the meal staring at the plate, the cutlery and from time to time at her fellow diners in a manner that suggested that she was wondering what they'd taste like, which was in fact the case. It had amused Sable enormously. He toyed with his Perrier. 12 million, huh? That's pretty good. That's great. So, we're going corporate. It's time to blow the big one. Am I right? California, I think. I want factories, restaurants, the whole schmear. We'll keep the publishing arm, but it's time to diversify. Yeah? Franny nodded. Sounds good, Sable. We'll need... She was interrupted by a skeleton. A skeleton in a Dior dress, with tanned skin stretched almost a snapping point over the delicate bones of the skull. The skeleton had long blonde hair and perfectly made up lips. She looked like the person mothers around the world would point to, muttering, "That's what'll happen to you if you don't eat your greens." She looked like a famine relief poster with style. She was New York's top fashion model and she was holding a book. She said, excuse me, Mr. Sable. I hope you don't mind me intruding, but your book, it changed my life. I was wondering, would you mind signing it for me? She stared imploringly at him, with eyes deep sunk in gloriously eyeshadowed sockets. Sable nodded graciously and took the book from her. It was not surprising that she had recognised him, for his dark grey eyes stared out from his photo on the foil-embossed cover. Foodless Dieting, Slim Yourself Beautiful, the book was called. The diet book of the century. How do you spell your name? He asked. Cheryl. 2 R's, 1 Y, 1 L. You remind me of an old friend, he told her, as he wrote swiftly and carefully on the title page. There you go. Glad you liked it. Always good to meet a fan. What he'd written was this. Cheryl, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Revelations 6:6. Dr. Raven Sable. It's from the Bible, he told her. She closed the book reverently and backed away from the table, thanking Sable. He didn't know how much this meant to her. He had changed her life. Truly, he had. He had never actually earned the medical degree he claimed, since there hadn't been any universities in those days. But Sable could see she was starving to death. He gave her a couple of months at the outside. Handle your weight problem terminally. Franny was stubbing at her laptop computer hungrily, planning the next phase in Sable's transformation of the eating habits of the Western world. Sable had bought her the machine as a personal present. It was very, very expensive, very powerful and ultra slim. He liked slim things. There's a European outfit we can buy into for the initial toehold, Holdings, brackets, Holdings, close brackets, Incorporated. That'll give us the Liechtenstein tax base. Now, If we channel funds out through the Caymans into Luxembourg and from there to Switzerland, we could pay for the factories it... But Sable was no longer listening. He was remembering the exclusive little restaurant. It had occurred to him that he had never seen so many rich people so hungry. Sable grinned, the honest, open grin that goes with job satisfaction, perfect and pure. He was just killing time until the main event, but he was killing it in such exquisite ways. Time and sometimes people.